Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Melissa and I'm so happy that you're here today. It is Thursday, which means it is my Makeup with a Message video. Every Thursday I come on here and play with some makeup and just kind of spill what's on my heart or on my mind. So if you're interested to hear this week's message, definitely keep on watching. As I was editing last Thursday's video, I realized that it was really distracting to do my entire face start to finish on camera. I feel like it took away from the message a little bit, in my opinion. I still uploaded the video because I was proud of it and the content, it just took a while to get there. So we're not going to do that this week. I have my base on. I used a variety of products that will be linked down in the description box below, but I wanted to just focus on my eyes and focus on the message itself. I am going to go ahead and read the quote that this week is based off of. I recently signed up for an app that sends me motivational quotes 2 to 3 times a day between certain hours, and you can set all of that, and I have been finding that so wonderful to remain my positivity and keep everything light in life. This week's quote is something that kind of hit me a little on the harder side in an interesting way, and it is, sometimes life will kick you around, but sooner or later you realize you're not just a survivor, you're a warrior, and you're stronger than anything life throws your way. Using the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette, I'm going to go ahead and create a bluer look for us today. If you're new to my channel, definitely give the video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, and join the journey. Like I said, I upload every Thursday, but I also do videos on Sundays and Tuesdays. I promised as I was going through these videos, you are going to learn a little bit more about me as a person each and every time. And one thing, and the reason that this quote stuck out to me personally so much, one thing about me that I think, I don't know if I've said on this channel, but one thing about me is I have a good deal of medical issues. I was very blessed and I was very fortunate to grow up in a wonderful, loving, accepting home with people who cared about me and supported me through my life. I am fortunate enough to have married into a family that is just as wonderful. So when I think about things, and when you look at me from an outside, you probably don't know the things that I've been through or the struggles that I've had. And mainly it's with my health. So I have had anxiety, depression. I have had diagnoses over the last 5 years of 3 probably 2 new chronic illnesses. And I think that is something that I'm very open about speaking. However, you wouldn't know it if you saw me. Each time that I go through a day or anything like that, there are aspects of my health that, you know, cause a problem, or they just generally, they're flaring up, things like that. And it is really, really hard sometimes to just get through the day. Most days, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10 days are fine, but it's that one day that's just such a reminder of what I go through every day. So why the quote really stuck out to me was simply because it really brought me back to the journey I've been on in the last 7 or 8 months, which was detaching myself from my issues. You know, I identified with my, my nickname, self-given kind of, but also from an external source, but is Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And it's kind of like, oh, well, when swine flu came around, oh, well, obviously you got it, or something like that. And it's just a joke. And for a while, I was not comfortable with the joke, but like still participating in it. And, I've obviously come to terms with things through a lot of work with my therapist and things like that. And, it's hard to detach yourself when that consumes your life. I deal with a lot of different things on a daily basis, so it's easy to identify with them. But I think the message really behind the quote is that whole, you're never given more than you can handle. And some days I don't believe that. I'll be honest. Some days I really don't believe that quote. I don't think it's real. I think it's kind of a load of nothing. But there are other days where I truly think that, I've come as far as I have, and I've become the person I am. Not necessarily in spite of everything, but because of them. Life is definitely going to continue to throw things my way and test me and I'm over it, but I recognize that that's going to be something that happens, and I am not anybody special who's going to be able to avoid that. However, I genuinely believe that I am going through what I'm going through for a reason, and that is really the message. There is a reason, and it's not your fault that you're going through something difficult. And the reason might just be a lesson in and of itself. Everything in life is a lesson. Everything. Everything that you go through, there's a reason. You either have a positive or negative outcome, and it's a lesson. What am I learning in this experience? It is so much easier to step back from the situation afterwards and ask that question. What was I supposed to learn? When you're going through it, like, let me tell you, I was diagnosed with a brain disease that apparently I've lived with my entire life. I was not asking myself what lesson I was learning as I was educating myself on my illness. But looking back on it and looking back on all of the pain I was in my entire life, the lesson was I am okay. The lesson there was, okay, you've suffered for, I was 26, I think, when I was diagnosed. I went 26 years without knowing this was wrong and going through chronic pain I didn't know I had, because I was strong enough to do it. Sometimes not being given a choice is strength. It's a way of proving to yourself from the universe that you're strong. You're stronger than you give yourself credit for. And I think being stronger than you give yourself credit for is absolutely a normal human thing. There is nothing wrong about being stronger than you think you are or not giving yourself enough credit. That's human. Like, for my whole life, I was like, saw everything that I wasn't. I saw everything that I couldn't do or anything that I wouldn't do because it would affect me a certain way with my health. And instead of doing that, I should have been focusing on all of the ways that what I was going through was positive. A couple of my issues, I don't like that word, but can't think of anything else to say, are really rare. And I'm able to now, speak openly about them in case someone on my channel hears this, they have a Chiari Malformation, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. So I was definitely stronger than I gave myself credit for, and I think that's really the message that needs to be said, is you aren't given more than you aren't given more than you can carry. Sometimes you need somebody to help you carry it. But at the end of the day, you are strong enough to do it. There's not anything wrong with a sign of weakness in the process. There is not anything wrong with saying, I need help. That actually makes you stronger of a person. You don't always have to carry it on your own. I felt like I was carrying 30 pounds backpack, and when I got the most recent medical news, they put that 35 pounds on, and I couldn't carry it anymore, and I was really weak. And I let the people around me help me carry that extra 5 pounds. I let people help me carry that. And through that, I learned to be able to carry it myself. And I think that's really what this is all about, is it's okay to ask for help if you can't carry that extra baggage, because through that help, you're going to learn how to carry it yourself. And at the end of the day, the reality of things is it's okay to be just surviving. That's the other thing I wanted to really make sure that I said, was that it is okay to just survive. You don't have to take everything head on as it comes at you. You don't have to worry all of the time about, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to power through it and make a lesson out of it? How am I going to be here? I am woman, I am man, hear me roar. How am I going to do all of these things and prove that everybody wrong? You don't always have to do that. You can be weak. And that is the biggest lesson I have learned in the last 7 months. It is that you can be weak. You can let other people carry that extra 5 pounds of baggage. You can. To learn how to do it yourself. You don't always have to be this warrior. You can be just a surviving person. You can get through your day and you learn that way how to carry it. How do you become that warrior? How do you become so comfortable with it you can sit in front of a camera and film a video that everybody in the world can see? How do you get to that point? And if you can figure out how you get to that point, and how you, by surviving and just getting through it, how do you become that warrior and prove and understand and realize and believe that you're strong? and you're strong enough to do it, and you weren't given it to you. It wasn't given to you because you couldn't handle it. It was given to you because you could. I'm gonna go ahead and put liner and lashes on, and we'll be back for some lips. Alright guys, let's finish up with the lips. I use a NYX Epic Ink liner and the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. The mascara that I actually did not like the first time I used it, but it's much better the second time. I don't think I did enough coats. I wanted to try a little experiment. So I have a lippy pencil and a lippy stick from Colourpop. The name of each is the same. They're both in the shade Oh Snap. So I wanted to put them together and see what we got. So this is the lippy stick, and then we have the lippy stick, which I just love these. They are the same shade. That is bananas, but I love it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this week's Makeup with a Message. I really wanted to speak on the you're not given more than you can handle. I wanted to speak on that because for the longest time I did not believe it. I didn't think it was true. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a whole load of nothing. But it's true. It's just you have to go through the survivor stage before you can get to the warrior stage. And you have to be able to be weak, and you have to let other people help you carry that 5 pounds of baggage before you can learn and get strong enough to carry it on your own, because you are strong enough and you can. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'll be here on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm so excited for it. I hope you are too. I will see you then.